Hey everyone, today we're tackling a question that seems so simple on the surface, but is actually packed with financial traps. Should you cancel that credit card you never really use? Let's get into it because the answer could seriously save you from a major financial headache down the road.
So just picture this for a second. You decide to simplify your finances, clean things up a bit, and you close an old credit card. Feels like the right move, right? Productive. But then, a few weeks or months later, you go to apply for a car loan, and you get hit with a sky-high interest rate. Or worse, you get denied altogether. And the reason? Your credit score has just taken a sudden, shocking nosedive.
And I'm not talking about a tiny little dip here. We're talking about a potential drop of up to 60 points. That is a massive hit to take from what felt like a single harmless decision. And you know what? This happens to thousands of people, which is exactly why we need to break down what is really going on under the hood.
But okay, before we get into all the risks and the scary stuff, let's be fair. Let's look at why you might want to cancel a card in the first place. I mean, there are some pretty compelling upsides to simplifying your wallet.
First off, and this is a big one, you can save some real money. Those high annual fees on premium cards can set you back hundreds of dollars every single year. If you're not actually using the perks, you're basically just lighting that money on fire. Closing a card can also be a great way to control spending and stick to a budget. And, of course, with fewer accounts to juggle, you lower the risk of missing a payment and you make it way easier to spot any fishy activity or fraud.
So, while there are clearly some good reasons to close a card, this is where it gets really tricky. Let's pull back the curtain and uncover the hidden dangers that can quietly and totally sabotage your credit score.
To really understand the risk, you first have to understand your credit score. So take a look at this chart. The single biggest factor, yeah, that's your payment history. But look what's right behind it, making up a massive 30% of your score, credit utilization. This basically measures how much of your available credit you're using at any given time. It's the second most important piece of the puzzle, and it's exactly where closing a card can do the most damage.
This slide shows the problem perfectly. Let's run a quick scenario. Say you have a total credit limit of $20,000 across two cards, and you owe $3,000. Your utilization is a nice, healthy 15%. Awesome. But now you decide to close one of those cards, one with an $8,000 limit. You still owe the same $3,000, but your total available credit just plummeted to $12,000. All of a sudden, your utilization shoots up to 25%. And just like that, you look way riskier to lenders, even though your actual spending hasn't changed one bit.
But wait, it doesn't stop there. What happens when you close one of your oldest accounts? You know, that one you've had since college. Well, you shorten your credit history, which, by the way, is another 15% of your score. Lenders absolutely love to see a long, stable history. On top of that, you're going to lose any of the rewards you've saved up, and you'll reduce your overall credit buffer, which can make it just that much harder to get loans in the future.
So here's the dilemma in a nutshell. It's a real tug-of-war. On one side, you've got these great benefits, saving money, simplifying your life, but on the other, you're staring down the barrel of damaging your credit score and losing valuable perks. It feels like a classic catch-22, and it's a really tough spot to be in.
So, how in the world do you solve this puzzle? Well, the good news is there's a pretty clear framework you can use to make the right choice for your specific situation. Let's move from the problem to the solution. This is really the key question, isn't it? It's not about some one-size-fits-all rule. It's all about figuring out the specific scenarios where closing a card actually makes perfect sense for you.
So, when should you go for it? Here are your green lights. Definitely think about canceling if the card has a high annual fee that you're just not getting enough value from. If it's tempting you into debt or causing you financial stress, close it. And look, if your credit is already rock solid and you're not planning to apply for a mortgage or a big loan anytime soon, you can probably handle that temporary dip in your score just fine.
But what if you're in that really tricky spot where a card has a high fee, but it's also your oldest account? Here is the absolute best piece of advice. Don't cancel it, downgrade it. Just call your card issuer and ask for a product change to a version that has no annual fee. It is the ultimate win-win. You ditch the fee, but you keep the account open, which preserves your precious credit history and your credit limit. Now, if you've gone through all this and decided, yep, I'm canceling, you have to do it the smart way. First, pay off that balance completely. Then, use up or transfer all of your rewards. After that, call the bank. They might even offer you a deal to keep the account open. If you still want to cancel, make sure, and this is so important, make sure you get written confirmation that the account was closed in good standing. Okay, let's zoom out and pull all of this together into a final long-term strategy.
Because this is really about more than just one card. It's about how you manage your credit as a whole.
So what's the bottom line here? For most people, the absolute safest move is to just keep your no annual fee cards open, even if you rarely use them. Think of them as quiet little helpers, working in the background, boosting your total credit limit and stretching out your credit history. Both of those things help protect your score.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Are the cards in your wallet right now working for you, or are they working against your financial future? Are they tools that are building wealth and earning you rewards, or are they just creating hidden risks? The choice you make here could be the difference between a much stronger financial future and a totally unnecessary setback. Thanks for tuning in.